Hello, welcome to... Get rid of that. There we go. Hello. Hello, welcome. Sorry about that. I got a bit of background noise going on there. Sorry about that. Right, okay. So, just the fallout from the night before, really. England against Slovakia. They won 2-1, as we saw, but it wasn't great, was it? It wasn't great. It wasn't great at all. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. You know, a lot of the fans out there, they're kind of honest about it. They can see what's going on, but maybe the players can't see it, but certainly maybe the management can't go it. I just saw Bellingham's post-match interview press conference where he said they thought they played well, but they didn't play well, did they? Didn't play well at all. Now, for all the moans and groans and for all the despair and for all the sort of confusion and everything like that, you got to take this on the chin in that at least you're not an Italy fan. Let's put it that way, because the way Italy went out against Switzerland was an absolute disgrace. They just went out with a whimper. They didn't fight at all. At least England, the way England played, they had a bit of desire. They had a bit of a fight. They were trying, but there was no purpose. There was no clue. Totally unbalanced side, all over the place, really. And Slovakia looked really good. They started the team. I was convinced England were going to win relatively easy this game. I was really surprised how good Slovakia were, how on the front foot they were. They put England under pressure. They were putting crosses in. They were dynamic. They were going forward. Everything that England weren't. And as the game went on, you thought, come on, England, you've got to do something. No changes at half-time. All the pundits, the commentators saying, why aren't they making changes? Why aren't they making, what's going on? And all of a sudden, it just seemed to be really, really poor. Really poor. So what's going on? What's going on with Southgate? What can't he see? What can't the players see? Now, you're facing a good, very good Switzerland side in the quarterfinals. Great. It's great to celebrate that if England have made it through to the quarterfinals. But we cannot celebrate the performance and the manner of just getting there. Just the dying breath, just getting there. Wonder goal by Bellingham, fantastic. Really good goal from Harry Kane is good. Great. Positives, 2 goals, 2 positives, but not good. Not a good way to start the knockout stages at all. So you got to ask, what's going on? What's going on in Southgate's mind? Not making the substitutions, not being dynamic enough. The team, all the players not being dynamic enough, playing on the front foot. The defenders, Rice and Mainu for a lot of time, they're almost, making sort of 5-yard passes. Well, the defenders, they're acting as defenders sometimes, especially Rice. And, then there was big gaps in midfield. And then there's, it was non-existent in terms of left-hand play and right-hand play. Saka had a couple of, runs down the right-hand side. It was just woeful, the first half. The first half was absolutely terrible from England. The second half, England came out and there was a little bit more desire, a little bit more fluidity. I think also, but what happened was that Slovakia stepped off a little bit. They stepped off a little bit. They weren't on the front foot. Then they could sort of see England coming at them, so they stepped on it as well and started more of an even game as well. But England just weren't at it. Then they had that open ball to Trippier. Trippier came in, and it was offside for Foden. Yeah, quite rightly so. But that was like the one kind of mini highlight. Not the cross into Foden where he was offside, but the way that, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Harry Kane who actually crossed the ball directly over to Trippier to find him. That was the one highlight. But then no substitutions were made. Kolpana came on. Can't remember, it was 6-yard minute. Something like that. And then Eze came on late on. 80th odd minute, whatever it was. And then Ivan Toney, was it the last minute of added time, came on. And it just wasn't good enough. Wasn't dynamic enough. Wasn't responsive enough. And that's the problem. The problem is that now England are going to be facing Switzerland, who beat Italy as well. They beat Italy convincingly. Italy just weren't out the races. As I say, it was a bit of a disgraceful performance from Italy because they were 2-0 down and they weren't even chasing the game, and it was just all over the place. So they've got to take a long, hard look at themselves, the players that they've got playing for the national team, and also the coach as well, Spalletti, who is a dynamic, forward-thinking manager, but you just couldn't get these players to do that. But by contrast, Switzerland, always on the front foot, always going for it. And Granit Xhaka in midfield is pulling strings like nobody's business. Fantastic. They got the front three who are really good, really dynamic as well. They're a solid unit. They're a well-organised unit. They're going to put England under a lot of pressure. So then all of a sudden you think, well, how are England going to counteract that? If you play against Switzerland like you did against Slovakia, like you done in the group stages, it's an easy win for Switzerland, you would imagine. This is the problem. This is the questions that people are asking. This is the dissension, if you like, in the ranks, where people are kind of looking at the way England have been playing and say, hold on a minute, yeah, we won, yeah, we got through the group, but if we play like that, if we continue to play like that, then there's no way we're going to win. We're going to have to change it up. So every time you're asked a question, you're not delivering. Yes, delivering on result, but not on the performance. Now, this is not about effort. This is not about a desire to win. This is about a quality. This is about a purpose. This is about tactical awareness. And you've got to hand it down from Southgate and the coaching staff down, because if they're not directing the players to play more advanced, to play more attacking style, to play more on the high press, then they're basically lost. They don't really know. They're not comfortable in playing the way that England are playing. Southgate made a huge mistake in only bringing Luke Shaw, who hadn't played in 4 or 5 months and has been injured. Well, that's not a manager who is thinking holistically about the squad, about the first team either. You've got to have players in positions, in their best positions, ideally, but not trying to shoehorn every best player in, even if they're not in their best position. You should be able to find the answer. Left-hand side is a joke for England. Right-hand side isn't much better. Midfielders all over the place. Defensively, midfield are stuck together. Up front, there isn't a lot of cohesion there as well. So whilst they're, you got the likes of Bellingham and Foden and Mainu as well, trying in certain regards. Saka on the right, yeah, they're trying. It was no success because there was no real plan. There was no real thought. So England were lucky. England were lucky to get away with it. And now they face Switzerland. So good luck. That's what I can say. Good luck. Good luck, England. I've got friends texting me saying, England are dog shit, England are crap, this is rubbish. We're all saying the same thing because we all expect so much more. I was saying that England are going to win the tournament beforehand. They've got to, because they've got the best players. And you would imagine that they were played with a bit more confidence, a bit more cohesion, a bit more, especially the way Southgate has kind of enabled the team to do in the last couple of tournaments, semi-finals, finals, that kind of thing. But at that critical moment, seem wanting. Then you take the likes of Germany, who are playing decent football. You take the likes of Spain, playing fantastic football. We've got France and Belgium this afternoon as well. And Portugal are playing, but they've been playing some decent football as well. So then you take those teams and you compare them to England, and you think, no chance. So they've got to step it up. They've got the players to do it, but it's no point having a group of players who are quality players, but they don't have a plan. They don't know how to play together as a team. They don't know where they should be playing. There's no, they're trying to work the ball out of defence, but there's nobody to pass the ball to because there's no movement. They don't know where they should be running. They don't know where they should be operating. So what is this? Is this a tactical game to say, right, just keep it tight, keep it defensive, don't give the ball away, don't expose yourself too much, look for the openings. But in that, it's just poor, isn't it? It's just poor. So good luck, England. Good luck, England. That's all I can say, because it was terrible. It was a terrible performance last night. And anybody who says it isn't is not seeing the same thing. And the players just seem to be thinking that they had a good performance, and they didn't. Individually, they were mediocre. Collectively, it was poor. Lucky that they got away. The one saving grace for England is that they never gave up. And that's fantastic spirit. Never give up, because you can have bad days on the pitch. You can have bad games. You just keep on trying. You never know what's going to happen. This is an old Sir Alex Ferguson mantra, isn't it? Just keep on going. You never know. Play to the very final whistle, because you never know. And I hark back to Italy when they played Switzerland as well. If only they'd done that as well, we'd probably seen a different result there. But they gave up. They gave up after 10 minutes. It was just ridiculous. But if you compare England to Spain, Spain went 1-down to Georgia, came back 4-1. Fantastic football, passing, movement, wing play, just brilliant. So if England come up against Spain, they're going to get a drubbing, an absolute drubbing. It'll be an embarrassment. It'll be like this would be 1970 Brazil against Italy. This would be, was it 2012 Spain against Italy? There's a common theme there, right? Italy losing 4-0 in both games. It would be who did Germany beat 10-1 in the World Cup in Japan a few years ago? Was it Saudi Arabia? I can't remember who it was. It could have been Algeria or something like that. It'll be something on that level. So they've got to change it up. And it's not individual players here that have to step up their game and say, yeah, you have to be 10 times better. They have to be better, but the formation has to change. The tactics have to change. The left-hand side has to be... The whole team needs to be balanced. And I've said this from the word off. They need to completely change their formation. For me, I'd have 3 at the back. Kwanzi now has to come in with Gay because he's suspended. So Kwanzi there on the left-hand side. You've got Stones in the middle, and either Walker, which I didn't think he had a good game, but I'd put Trent Alexander-Arnold there on the right-hand side there. I'd stick with Saka on the right-hand side, although you can flip with Bow in there. And I have Gordon on the left. And I would stick with, I would take out Mainu, but Mainu had a good game. Let's not forget that. So we could either go with Rice and Mainu sitting in front of the back three, just a little bit more advanced, and then you'd have Foden with sitting in as a number 10, and then you'd have Kane and Bellingham as up front. Let's not forget that's where Southgate saw Bellingham. He assigned him as a striker in the squad. He didn't assign him as a midfielder, which I think is a mistake. My preferred option would be Rice and Bellingham sitting in front of the back three, and then you'd have Foden, and then you would have Kane and Watkins, or Kane and Palmer at the front two. So a 3-5-2, that's what I would go for. And that's the way I would say you'd be more dynamic, you'd be more wing play. They've got to get width, they've got to get runners, they've got to attack the wings, they've got to get the crosses in. And you've got to have players, like Foden playing centrally and Harry Kane up there in the box and Watkins and Palmer in there around the box to receive those crosses. And that's the way you win. And it'll be much more entertaining, much less frustration, much more successful. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. But, I think everybody's just kind of relieved this morning, after last night, but scratching their heads thinking, come up against a better team, there's no way you're going to win. Now, the flip side to this is that England did win, of course, and they did get through to the next round. So if they got through to the next round, then could they do it again? Could they keep on winning just by scraping through, not, winning ugly, the tennis term, winning ugly? Could they keep on doing it? Yeah, of course they did. They could win the tournament by winning ugly. They could win the tournament just by scraping through and by getting lucky. But it doesn't fill you with confidence. It doesn't fill you with you know, that they absolutely deserve to win. It will go down as a terrible team that won the tournament. You know, it will be like the likes of when Greece won it. Fantastic achievement for Greece, but they weren't. You know, it wasn't a good team. It was a defensive team. They scored by 1 goal here, 1 goal there. You know, it wasn't great to watch, but they won, right? So it'd be a similar kind of thing. England won, but they wouldn't be the best team. You know, on the performance so far, you've got to say that Spain are the team that you would think, wow, if they win it, they deserve to win it because the quality of their play is fantastic. It's entertaining. It's just great to watch. Whereas you watch England and you think, oh, God, you know. And then, I mean, you know, you could say the likes of Italy as well. Okay, if they got through and won it, then you think they didn't deserve to win it. They're just playing terrible football. You know, the likes of France haven't really impressed. Belgium haven't really impressed. So if they continue as the form they're in and they go on to win it, then you think, well, you know, it's not really great. So England are in the same boat. They're not really that great. They're not doing enough to impress us, to put the fear into the opposition. And that's the thing. Switzerland are going to be looking at England saying, this is going to be great. Please keep on playing like that, because this is exactly, we'll just put you under pressure. We put width, put crosses in. You won't know what to do with it. We just keep on putting you under pressure and you won't know what to do. Because the way you're playing, and even if you try and come at us, we can hit balls over the top and you won't know what to do with us. Because you've got no structure. You can't suddenly change it halfway through and suddenly start playing fantastically well without a proper game plan, without everybody knowing what their job is. And that's the problem. Because they don't know what their job is, they don't know what the rule is, and they haven't got the players in the correct positions and the strongest players in those strongest positions. Therefore, that's why England are struggling. That's why they were lucky to get through. Take nothing away. A win's a win. Fantastic achievement to get through to the quarterfinals. It was great. Probably the easiest route into the quarterfinals of all the teams. It has to be said. England have probably had the best, easiest group to get through. Made a hash of that, but got through. Topped the group. Got through. Wasn't impressive. Got through to the quarterfinals. Slovakia 2-1. Wasn't impressive. Can they get through to the semis? I wouldn't put it past them. I wouldn't put it past England to do that. But not impressive. Not impressive enough. Need to do better. Because if another team, as we know, if another team, another nation comes up against them and they stick to their game plan, stick to the way they've been playing, England will suffer quite a heavy defeat. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. But listen, I'm going to be sticking around for the France-Belgium game this afternoon. Can't wait for that and see what's what. But next Saturday, it's Switzerland against England, or England against Switzerland, whichever you prefer. Who do you think is going to win? What do you think the score's going to be? Can England turn it around? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll catch you again on another video and another live show coming very soon. Ta-ra now.